Hello, and welcome to another film commentary. I'm Jared Wignall, and today we will be watching Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Stars Peter Sellers and George C. Scott, and it is directed by Stanley Kubrick. Get your copy of the movie synced up at 0, and we will begin. 3, 2, 1, play. I like how this opening basically states what happens in this film. It won't happen. Um, However, obviously, if you've seen the film, which I'm assuming everybody listening to this has, even though this couldn't happen anyway, all the people in charge of this, it still happened anyway. So it's kind of, I can maybe an oxymoron or just a little contradictory in a way. I like this, just a little bit of narration here. Uh, this film came out in 1964. It was supposed to come out in 1963, but because of the content of the film, like the war, Cold War, and nuclear annihilation, and all that stuff within the film, plus the death of John F. Kennedy, it was pushed back to early 2000 or 1964, 2000. Yeah. And this, in the very beginning, is obviously, if you've seen the film, it's a symbol of sex, but like the penis going into a vagina. This is filling the plane with gas instead. But there's a lot of sex innuendos in this film. And this film was supposed to be made seriously because it's based off of a serious book, Red Alert. But the more Kubrick looked more into the details of what was going on, like nuclear war and everything, and he just found humor in it, like how just I guess the idea of we're gonna blow up each other because of this or that reason. There's various reasons as to why, obviously, there's a lot of tension during the Cold War, but he just found humor in how kind of, I guess, dumb it was or seemed to him. And there's another film called Failsafe, which has similar topics of what's going on, like with the whole nuclear war with Russia and all that stuff, but with starring Henry Fonda. But that film had to be postponed because of a lawsuit Stanley Kubrick made against that film, and basically got pushed back. The film wasn't as successful as Strangelove, but it they're both regarded as masterpieces. And now we've been introduced to Group Captain Lionel Mandrake and General Jack D. Ripper. This is the first role we see Peter Sellers in. He plays two other roles. He plays the President of the United States, Merkin Muffley, as well as the President's German, German secretary, or he's scientist of He's basically a close associate of the president's. But he was supposed to play a fourth part, that of the character. He's supposed to play the character Slim Pickens plays, Major King Kong, but depending on the story you hear, he what happened was an accident happened, or a quote unquote accident. Basically, what happened was Peter Sellers was not sure if he could ever do a Texas accent needed for the character, but somebody said phrases and stuff, and he listened to it and mimicked it, got the accent down and everything, and basically it was all set, and he was the famous bomb scene that's later seen in the movie. He was like up on it. It was like 50 feet off the ground, and apparently he fell, and he injured his ankle, and therefore he couldn't, do it within the confines of the cockpit. There's the narration again. However, he a biographer of hers apparently actually says that he actually didn't actually fall and hurt himself. He pretended to, like before any of that happened. Of like there are pictures of him in the suited to be Major Kong, but like he was never on the bomb rehearsing that, but he was just walking around and he tripped and ow, basically is that story. And there's a Playboy, and that woman we'll see later in the film. She's the only woman in the movie. And there's James Earl Jones in his first film ever. He's best known for being the voice of Darth Vader, as well as Mufasa from Lion King. And there's Slim Pickens himself, it's Major Kong. And now here comes the order that's gonna just really get things in motion of what's happening. General Jack D. Ripper, Sterling Hayden's character, is a real wacko. That little conversation he and Mandrake had, I'm sure, is a good indication of that. But he's just the real reason as to why all this is happening comes later. And it's just so ridiculous when you figure out what the reason as to why all this happened in the first place. This film is a big departure from Kubrick in a lot of ways. This one sticks out in the filmography of Kubrick. His films are usually serious. This is really the only film that's an actual straight out comedy. You could consider Lolita a comedy. And again, I think because that has to do with really Peter Sellers and his performance. Because like in this film, he got to ad lib. In this film, what happened with Sellers, he took the first line of dialogue of his characters, whatever his character was, and then he would just go from there. But being able to stay within the script so that everybody else wouldn't have to think on their feet and ad-lib as well. Go code. Oh, poor fella. He has no idea as the real reasons behind all this. That. James Earl Jones said he actually hadn't really met Slim Pickens, so he saw him on set. He said, "Oh, he's arrived in character," but that's actually just how Slim Pickens was. Um, Back to Peter Sellers. On the Criterion Blu-ray, apparently somebody who like looked into the whole Doctor Strangelove apparently said Peter Sellers never ad-libbed at all, or his ad-libs weren't as big as made out to be. Because apparently the script that he had, like it has all the lines he says in the movie were there. I think what happened was because I've worked on some films and stuff, like if you're working on a movie and there's like somebody ad-libs something that could possibly end up in the final product, or if it's something that's just was good, what they do is sometimes they rewrite stuff to fit what's going on. Like, oh, in that take he said this, so if they ever have to reshoot a scene, well, here's the script, here's what you ad-libbed. That way they can say it again or not. I believe that's what happened because a bunch of people who worked on this film keep saying Peter Sellers kept ad-libbing. So that's really the only explanation behind it. And here's that model in the Playboy magazine. Working with General Buck Turgidson, played by George C. Scott. Oh. She plays Miss Scott. This is Tracy Reed playing Miss Scott. Apparently, George C. Scott wasn't completely happy with his performance initially because what would happen is he says he's a very serious actor. Scott just wanted to always play the character as straight, but I guess there's already a few straight characters in this film already that this character really couldn't be a straight character. It had to be over the top. So what Kubrick did was he told him the first take will be a practice take. Just, be over the top, be as loud as, basically just go all out. Just get anything in a certain scene out of the way of any goofiness. And then all this, he would always play it straight completely on all the other takes. So here, what you see is this first take. Kubrick always intended to use the first take, and because of that, Kubrick or Scott wasn't completely overtly fond of this performance. Though later on, he did say, It was a good movie, and it was one of his better performances. Um, yeah, there's a lot of sexual innuendos, and also it's interesting that Miss Scott is in high heels while wearing a bikini. I've never seen that before. Now a little prepta from General Ripper. Sterling Hayden's. Oh man, he's something in this film. He'd worked with Kubrick in some films, like the Killing in particular. Oh, and now we're back to Peter Sellers, this Mandrake character. I think in some ways this was my favorite character in the movie. He's us in a way, try, not knowing completely what's going on, but then as if it goes on, okay, we figure out what's happening, and hey, a radio. Uh oh. I just like how he's supposed to shut everything off, but then he turns the radio on, and music. Speaking of music, here's Johnny goes marching home, or comes marching home. It's like the theme of the film. Uh, and now we're getting everything we need for Plan R right now. The stuff that they later get with all this is just, it's like it's kind of cool, or it's kind of like normal, I guess, what you'd get, but then some of it's kind of just a little ridiculous. All right, here comes the prefix OPE. And now this is clearly important to remember. The detail and of inside the plane were so accurate that apparently a lot of people thought this was a film that is like it could actually happen because of the detail of everything going on. Even though it's a comedy, just the detail was so like spot on. But, and now this line coming up had to be redubbed because of the Kennedy assassination. Uh, or maybe that's coming later. Yeah, it comes later. But it's within the same kind of thing. He Still, like, they're all getting their stuff and they're explaining everything. Now, back to Peter Sellers, civilian broadcasting. Yeah. Yes. This whole. You would think you'd be pleased, but, I guess you'd be wrong. No. Recall code. What? Oh. Hmm. Very, very, very. Oh. Good points. Good points, Mandrick. Yeah. He'd be right on that, but grain alcohol and rainwater. What a great combination. How we go? Yes. Yes, but you don't know the code, unfortunately. Oh, oh, there's an iconic shot. Uh oh, got a gun. Yeah, Ripper is unhinged. This film is known for a moment at the end of the film, the writing the bomb. It's been parodied for so many times. Simpsons have done that a few times. He the film itself. It was a big hit. A lot of Kubrick films were huge successes, but they weren't completely critically acclaimed. You know, this was no different. But I think people liked this movie a bit more than his others at this point. Down to the Pentagon, into the war room, and Something's interesting here. Peter Sellers has a handkerchief, and that was originally his character had a cold, and he played it that way, but he kept sneezing and all that, and everybody kept laughing. So they just had that little thing left in to indicate at one point he had, a cold. Well then, the table was has a green fabric on it, like a rolled out green, like a green carpet or whatever. Not carpet, but like a cover of it. Because Stanley Kubrick said even though the film was going to be made in black and white, he said the it's like they're playing a poker game. And if you look there, there's Peter Sellers as Dr. Strangelove. But the reason is because, well, they're like they're the fate of the world is in their hands, and if they deal the wrong cards, well, then the world blows up. Deal the right ones and play it out. It's everything will be fine. Um, so about this movie, this film. This film was is just to me. I find this is the best comedy of all time. Uh, there's been some lists of dark comedies or black comedies, and this was number one because it takes something as serious as war and then makes it into a comedy. That's just, that's just hilarious. It's just a hilarious film. I mean, it's not actually hilarious. The fact that it made a war movie into a comedy. It's just made a took a serious subject matter, and made found the humor in it. And it's actually clever, really. I mean, I wonder how many people thought about making something like this, where you take something of a serious subject matter, but then kind of turn it on its head and make a comedy out of it. Not many. No, General Ripper's a wacko, and uh, nobody can get a hold of him. He's sealed up, and try to venture to the base, you're gonna get shot at. Oh, here we go. All these guys are here. They're just like, huh. If something like this really happened, be a lot of tension going on. It's all these military people, presidential personnel. I could see that there'd be actual arguments being made, and this man's obviously psychotic. Yeah, all right. Whoa. Something interesting, if you notice throughout the film, George C. Scott keeps chewing gum, and also at times he kind of acts like a baby with his face and the way he folds his arms, like right here. This scene also has been parodied a lot with the war room. Uh, the It's really interesting how Peter Sellers looks different and sounds different in like really all the movies he's been in. In this film, I feel is a great example of his uh, acting abilities because he was amazing. This film is my favorite film of not just Peter Sellers, but of Stanley Kubrick's. Uh-oh, this isn't going to end well. This decision to do that. Um, uh, this film was got nominated for 4 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, and Best Actor. Lost all of these. Most of them went to My Fair Lady. Uh, I think it should have won all 4, plus maybe a few more. Um, you know, Peter Sellers, in particular, if I had to choose one person to win an Oscar or one award from that ceremony to win, I'd choose Peter Sellers because his performances were just fantastic. It's like you just can't get better than that. You can't really. It's just fantastic. Performances so different and it's just so funny. He was a talented guy. He was hilarious. Um, this argument's pretty interesting, or this scene of the conflict with Turchinson and Muffley. Uh, the chemistry between those two it's very they have good chemistry or chemistry. Well, that's good. Oh, considering everything of deaths, yeah. Oh. More concern of American people than the image of the history books. Well, that is what a president should be. Oh, here comes the Russian ambassador. Uh-oh. He's upset. Yep. Oh, no, not the big board. Oh. We need to show him the big board so he understands what we understand. And that way we can all be on the same page. Okay, here's that part where about Kennedy. I get ahead of myself at times doing these. 45 caliber. 2 boxes of ammo. 4 days of rations. Antibiotics. Medicines. Alright. Tranquilizers. Holy Bible and Russian phrases. $100 in rubles. 100 in gold. 9 gun. Oh, here we go. Prophylactics, lipsticks, and as you could see, that line was clearly redubbed. He said Texas, and because of the whole Kennedy assassination, plus the fact that it was supposed to come out in '63. They were supposed to have a screening there, but they were like, "Yep, we're taking that out, and we're gonna hold off on showing the film." Oh, here we go. There's the president and the ambassador. Whoa. Soon his film's probably arguably the best line of the film will be shown or said, not shown. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yep. That was. That is the most memorable line in the film. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room. And to me, that's kind of like sounds like an oxymoron of sorts. That camera. And here comes those guys. And yet they think they're communists. All right. And the fighting begins. The fight between the Americans. Uh-oh. Almost shot and killed. This if something like this actually happened, that'd be like really pretty dumb. All right. Uh, uh, doesn't have a phone. Can't do anything. Oh, ooh. Um, that's a nice set, really. Um, there's an alternate ending where there's a pie fight. And it was just really ridiculous. I just like this whole thing of Peter Sellers talking to himself. This scene is really fine. Yes. It's great to be fine. We're all fine. The bomb. It's a little funny in the head. That's a very light way of saying what Ripper did, but I wouldn't say that. But hey, this is just funny. Can you imagine how he feels? I think, man, just to say hello. Wow. Well, that's good. Any time when we're not about to blow each other up. At least it's a friendly call. Ah, well. This would be a very hard decision to make as a leader, really, of what to do in a situation like this. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, you have to destroy the planes. Oh boy. Oh. Fade away. Scott, he's just like, eh. Well, he's very sorry. Sorry than me. Just don't say you're more sorry than me. She's capable of being as sorry as you are. Well, that's just a That would be an amazing. That would be such a conversation to be having if you could hear everything said. Uh oh, that's not good. Uh, it's not good. Doesn't seem good. Fools, huh? The Doomsday Machine. His Scott's faces in this film that are just hilarious. And now back to Mandrake and Ripper. The sane guy and the insane guy. Mandrake's trying to compose himself or keep himself composed. Russians drink vodka. They never drink water, just vodka. That's good. How come? How come, Mr. Ripper? We are about to start to delve into the madness of Ripper. Yeah. Well, yes, thank you for the basic lessons about water. Yeah, well. Oh, we're all water. Yes, except for the communists. They need vodka. Oh yes, I'm beginning to understand you're a wacko. That's what Mandrake's thinking. Okay. Distill rainwater and pure green alcohol. How come that is? Fluoridation of water. No, I don't know what that is. Really? Oh. Well, we'll have to resume this conversation a little later. Yeah. I wouldn't be standing there next to the window like that, but hey, that's just me, and I'm not insane. All right. Time to play a round of golf? Using the old gun iron. Good choice. You obliterate the ball. Where's the bullets, Seymour? Oh, here we go. Yes. Ah. Here we go. String in my legs. He's supposed to say that this thing in my leg is gone, but he said string. Just one of the many ad libs Sellers did. Thoroughly MG. Half Life. Huh. 93 years. There's not a lot of sane people in this film. As I keep saying, there's not a same pe- people would do. Right here, Kubrick thought Scott did that on purpose when that was a complete accident, so he just left that in. The space race. Oh, nylons. Well, the people up in the airplanes have some nylons. Doomsday Gap, huh? If it's from the New York Times, gotta believe it. Oh, here's Doctor Strangelove. Yeah. This is a funny character. His suit. There's his jacket's dirty. That hand, with a mind of its own. The reason he has a hand or a glove on that hand is because, well, decided to make the character more mysterious. Well, he saw Kubrick wearing gloves because he was doing the lights. So he took one of the gloves and to help make his character more sinister. I also read that there's like some kind of story where the Doctor Strangelove was doing some sort of experiment that went wrong, and the result was that his hand has a mind of its own. Whether that's actually credible or not is different, or it is another story. But it's just interesting to think about. Offering people gum. Human meddling. Magic. It can be done that by magic. Uh, Performance. No. McVictic Leben is strange love in German. So all he did was just change the name to the American translation. Whole point is lost. Yeah. Pretty like surprises. This would have been such a surprise. Peace is our profession. Meanwhile, let's have a shootout. While we don't fight in the war room, we shoot out where there's peace. Or peace is supposed to be had. Oh, 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 oh. Mandrake on the floor with the bullets, feeding him. That guy is, I believe, is dead. There you go. Hide behind the chair with a hole with it. Oh. This whole film is just hilarious. All the different angles of the shots is interesting. Not traditional, at least where the battle is going on. Oh. Here we go. We're going to learn about the fluoridation. We're going to learn fluoridation, 1846. And we're going to figure out now how is it he came to this conclusion. And that will help explain in case any of you don't know. Again, I apologize, as I have before on many of these, if I don't say a lot. Here we go. Why'd you develop the theory, Jack? During the physical act of love. Fatigue of emptiness happened. Oh, really? He lost his essence. No. Yes, women sense the power you have and your life essence, yeah. No, don't avoid women. But deny the essence, yes. In case you haven't figured it out, he's basically saying he has erectile dysfunction, and the reason for that isn't because, well, I'm getting older. It has to be because, oh, well, the commies fluoridated the water supply. And taking all this stuff out from, of all these other drinks and waters and liquids. All this because he has erectile dysfunction, and as he gets older. Oh, nice, thinking of you. Oh yes, look at him. Nothing wrong with his bodily fluids. That's good. Well, is it story time now? Oh, yes, he was a prisoner of war. Oh, the Japanese. Oh. Talk when they tortured? No, he didn't. Uh, the Japanese just tortured him just for the fun of it. Slow and morbid. Probably. Probably will. Yeah. Give him the code. Yes. Yeah. Uh, yes, you will have to answer for what you've done. Well, that's good. Uh, drop the gun. Oh. Gonna get the code. Water on the back of the neck and a code. Yeah. Oh. That can't be good. Hey, he can't open the door all the way. Oh. Now back to the plane. We haven't seen them in a while. What's old Slim Pickens and James Earl Jones doing? Oh, here comes a missile. This is this this might not end well. Missiles incoming. Oh. Keep going, keep it going. Uh-oh. Missiles. It's still coming. Keep deflecting that missile. 8 miles. Every 2 miles, it's 4 miles. 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, whoops. And now that blew up, and now that things blew up, and it's all on fire. That would. This would be a very unfortunate situation and would suck. Use the yeah. Yeah, use the fire extinguisher. They don't crash into the side of that mountain. Oh man. Well, it looks like things are better. Peace on earth. Purity of essence. OPE. Oh. Here comes a new character. This character's name is just really funny. It was Bat Guano. Yeah, I wouldn't think it looked real pretty. Yeah, well, they were on his head, by his head. What happened? Colonel Bat Guano. That's just. There we go. The reason he's called Bat Guano is because, well, his character's full of. Yeah, he's basically full of shit. Because later on, when we hear more about what he thinks happened, well, it's complete bull, but he doesn't think so. Oh, well, that sucks. Colonel Backwana. Jack D. Ripper. Major King Kong. That doesn't look very good at all. I don't think a lot of things work now. At least not that. Oh no. Oh no. Well, at least he'll be able to ditch at some point. Sleigh bells, A lot of the footage of that water and stuff was later used in 2001. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, prevert. back then, pervert or prevert means gay. So he thinks he was gay, and all that. Because of that, he goes and Ripper went insane, killed himself. Civil defense is your business. Gee, Dad, thanks for thinking of us. Just reading some signs in the background. Not a pringing. Oh. Oh, that's not good. All right. Yeah, try some preversions. And now you can understand the name of Baguano. All right. Um. Uh-oh. Fate of the whole world's at hands, and it could be being prevented because of not enough change. If something like this happened, I'm sure something stupid like not enough change to call the right person in order to get something across would happen. And coming up soon is the best product placement ever, right there. Best product placement. Private property, huh? No, probably not good. Hmm. Twit. Answer to the Coca-Cola company. You know that actually could be dangerous. All right. Oh, OPE. Alrighty, and it was a success. And now the day is saved. All right, time to give a short prayer now. And Dr. Strangelove in the darkness, looking sinister. Uh-oh. What's wrong with Kiss off this time? Hey, alright. 025. 025 a minute. Dimitri. Gee, I wonder what plane hasn't turned back yet. Not Laputer. Hmm. Ooh. Uh, oh, no, not a commie rat. Hmm. Doomsday machine's gonna go off. Yeah, you think so, but if the air defense can't just get shoot down one plane, that's a pretty terrible air defense. I'm just gonna say. I mean, Dimitri needs to calm down. Yeah, Dimitri's just a little. He's just a little. His faces are just funny. Dimitri really needs to calm down. Normally, yes, but not now. Alright, back to this. Get me to the primary. Well, I don't like the figures, so they blow. Well, they're in a sticky situation right there. Yeah, we're now we're gonna go to a different target now. Oh well, hey. I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. If only they knew. This was all because of the erectile dysfunction of General Jack D. Ripper. Oh boy. Here we go. Yeah, all right, I'll get to the point. Get to the point. Can they get to the? Do they have a chance of bombing that place or no? So, yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna take that as a yes. 'Target orange. Final bomb run. All right, here we go. Getting ready. Yep. 0 altitude. Safety releases on. Time for the second safety. The If it was in the context of this film, this would be very intense. Uh-oh. Doors won't open. This whole thing just blows right now. This situation isn't good. This is not good. Approaching the target. Bomb doors won't open. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh. If everybody goes flying out. Hi there, and dear John. Oh boy. Some great names for the bombs. Nuclear warhead, handle with care. So, obviously, coming up soon is the most famous part in this film, the most iconic shot. This is this is just hilarious. You know, all those sparks and all that can't be. That's not good. Gonna have to fix it fast, man. Oh, oh boy. Oh. Well, Major Kong hasn't gotten that the doors open yet. So, oh, here you go. There you go. Uh oh. Well, there goes Major Kong. And now this whole thing is that represents orgasm, and his orgasm was like explosive. Dr. Strangelove is back. Oh, this whole hand part is just that's just funny. What? No, now why is it that this guy has the face of like, what's this guy doing? Oh, he just has the face of what's going on. Oh, whoa, whoa. Gotta do your calculations. 100 years. Mein Fuhrer. Calling the president Mein Fuhrer. Not really. That's. I like how he said slaughtered. That's just funny. Difficult with your hand there. Having hand problems. Sexual fertility. And now George C. Scott's getting a little interested in this. Oh, keep saying stuff, and your hand has a mind of its own now. Breeding techniques. 10 females to each male. Oh, hey. Yeah, that's a lot. Uh, Pay attention to the kiss off right here. Or no, not kiss off. Yeah. His face is, he's smiling when he did that. Prime Minister, not the kiss off. But this is some good physical comedy. Beating your hand, and then I know your hand just beat you. Ow. Yeah, I think it would hurt biting your own hand and do all that. The sacrifice of the human race is men will have to have 10 women and breed when need be. Hmm. That's a great idea. Huh. Yeah. So remember that little camera they were fighting over in the beginning of the film? Extremely knife. Yeah, here we go. We're gonna take some pictures. But his camera is clock now. Now this is funny. Yeah, that whole ending of Mein Führer, I could walk that, but because was he stood up to illustrate his point. But when he was gonna say, he realized, oh, whoops, this character's supposed to be in a wheelchair, and now he has to. So he saved it with that quick little ad lib, and it's just hilarious. And the fact that this song, meet again, meet again some sunny day, as the bombs go off and the world explodes, is just. It's just. That's just a great film. I mean, it's just a perfect ending. I mean, how else are you going to end this movie? That pie fight was really ridiculous. Yeah, there were some ridiculous moments in here occasionally, but this ending it with Mein Führer, I Can Walk, and then the whole world blowing up with this great song. And, yeah, this song is perfect with this. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed watching this film with me. And I'll see you next time. Bye.